There's a country with no army, where police don't carry guns, where civilians own more firearms per capita than most of Europe. And somehow, it's been the safest place on Earth for 17 straight years. But that's not even the strangest part. One country on this list made every single drug legal, and crime nearly vanished overnight. These are the 10 safest countries in the world, and the reasons they're safe will challenge everything you think you know. Number 10. Finland. Here's a country that believes the best way to prevent crime is to make sure nobody wants to commit it. Finland has the highest-ranked education system on the planet according to the OECD. The average Finnish citizen scores 297 on literacy tests. The global average is just 259. And the theory is simple. Educate people well, give them opportunity, and they don't turn to crime. The result? Street shootings are virtually unheard of. Gang violence is extremely rare, and Finland has been ranked the happiest country on Earth for 7 consecutive years. But here's what makes this even more impressive. Finland shares an 830-mile border with Russia. It joined NATO in 2023 after decades of neutrality. And yet, it still managed to climb back into the top 10 safest countries this year, up from number 11, driven by improvements in security and political stability. Number 9. Slovenia. You've probably never heard of the 9th safest country in the world, and that's part of what makes it so remarkable. Slovenia is a nation of just 2.1 million people, tucked between Italy, Austria, and Croatia. It broke away from Yugoslavia in 1991 after the shortest war in modern European history, just 10 days. And then something extraordinary happened. Instead of spiraling into conflict like its neighbors, Slovenia immediately pivoted toward EU integration, democracy, and stability. Today, its capital Ljubljana is one of Europe's safest cities. Violent crime is so rare it barely registers in the statistics. The country is 60% forest. It was named European Green Capital in 2016, and its terrorism risk score is essentially zero. Slovenia is proof that a small, cohesive society can build peace almost overnight, if it chooses to. Number 8. Denmark. In Copenhagen, parents routinely leave their babies sleeping in strollers outside restaurants and cafes, unattended. In winter, this isn't negligence. It's a level of societal trust that most countries can't even imagine. Denmark has been ranked the least corrupt nation on Earth by Transparency International for 7 consecutive years, with a score of 89 out of 100. When your government works, your society works. The crime rate here is just 4,050 per 100,000, one of the lowest in Europe. And the homicide rate hovers around 0.6 per 100,000. And here's something that tells you everything about how safe Denmark really is. The biggest crime problem in Copenhagen? Bicycle theft. Half of all bike thefts in Denmark happen in the capital because everyone bikes. That's the crime wave keeping Danish police up at night. Universal healthcare. Free education through university. Generous unemployment benefits. Denmark didn't just reduce crime. It removed the reasons people committed in the first place. Number 7. Portugal. In 2001, Portugal did something no country had ever attempted. It decriminalized every single drug. Heroin, cocaine, methamphetamine, all of them. Personal use was no longer a criminal offense. Experts around the world predicted chaos. They predicted a wave of addiction, tourism by drug seekers, and social collapse. None of it happened. Instead, Portugal's drug death rate dropped to just 3 per million, compared to the European Union average of 17.3 per million. Drug use rates are now among the lowest in Europe, and overall crime fell alongside it. But Portugal's relationship with peace goes even deeper. In 1974, the Portuguese people overthrew a 48-year military dictatorship in what became known as the Carnation Revolution. Soldiers placed carnations, flowers, in the barrels of their rifles. Not a single shot was fired. Portugal transitioned from fascism to democracy through flowers, not bullets. Here's the insight. Portugal proves that bold, counterintuitive policy can work. Treating addiction as a health issue instead of a criminal one didn't just save lives. It made the entire country safer. Today, Portugal ranks 7th on the Global Peace Index, with one of Western Europe's lowest violent crime rates. Number 6. Singapore. On the Global Terrorism Index, Singapore scored a perfect 0.0000. Almost no other country on Earth achieves this. The intentional homicide rate is just 0.2 per 100,000. That's 25 times lower than the United States. You can walk any street in Singapore at 3 a.m. and feel completely safe. But this safety comes at a price. Singapore currently operates roughly 200,000 surveillance cameras across the city-state, with plans to expand further. The legal system is famously strict, caning for vandalism, the death penalty for drug trafficking. Whether you agree with the philosophy or not, the results are undeniable. Singapore was ranked number 1 in Gallup's Global Law and Order Index in 2022. It is the safest country in all of Asia. But here's the real question this raises. Is Singapore proof that safety requires surveillance? Or proof that economic prosperity and social order can eliminate crime? The answer probably depends on which freedom you value more. What's beyond debate is this: Singapore has essentially engineered crime out of existence. Now, before we get to the top 5, notice a pattern. 3 of the next 5 countries on this list don't even give their police officers guns. Keep that in mind as we continue. Number 5. Switzerland. Switzerland hasn't fought a foreign war since 1515. That's over 500 years of peace. It didn't join the United Nations until 2002. It has never been a member of NATO. And yet, every Swiss man is required to serve in the military. Many keep their service weapons at home after training. Switzerland has one of the highest rates of civilian gun ownership in Europe and a homicide rate of just 0.54 per 100,000. How? 4 times a year, Swiss citizens vote directly on national policy through referendums. This isn't representative democracy, it's direct democracy. When citizens shape their own laws, they respect them. The result is extraordinary civic trust. Add one of the world's highest GDPs per capita at roughly $100,000, universal healthcare, and low inequality, and you get a country where the conditions that breed crime simply don't exist. Switzerland is perhaps the clearest example on this list. When you combine wealth, equality, education, and democratic participation, safety becomes the natural outcome, not the exception. Geneva alone hosts the United Nations European headquarters, the Red Cross, and the Geneva Conventions that govern the laws of war. Switzerland didn't just choose peace, it became its global headquarters. Number 4. Austria. In 1955, Austria wrote something extraordinary into its constitution. It is permanently forbidden from joining any military alliance, hosting foreign military bases, or participating in wars. Neutrality isn't a policy choice in Austria, it's the law. And the results speak for themselves. Vienna has a crime index of just 26.85. For comparison, Paris scores 61.21 and London scores 53.77. Vienna has been named the world's most livable city by the Economist Intelligence Unit multiple times, topping the list in 2018, 2019, 2022, and 2023. The city hosts the United Nations Office, OPEC, and the OSCE, reinforcing Austria's identity as a diplomatic hub, not a military power. Austria's tap water comes directly from alpine glaciers. Its universal healthcare and free university education remove the economic drivers of crime. And its cultural legacy of diplomacy over conflict, stretching back centuries through the Habsburg Empire, has created a society where peace isn't just a value, it's an identity. Number 3. New Zealand. More than 1,000 miles from any other country, New Zealand is so geographically isolated it might as well be its own planet. And that isolation is a superpower. With a population of just 5.1 million spread across islands the size of the United Kingdom, communities here are tight-knit and deeply connected. New Zealand's police force does not routinely carry firearms. Like Iceland and Ireland, officers believe that guns are unnecessary for day-to-day policing. The homicide rate is just 0.7 per 100,000. But what truly defines New Zealand's approach to safety happened in 2019. After the Christchurch mosque shooting, the government enacted sweeping gun reform within weeks, banning military-style semi-automatic weapons almost overnight. Most countries debate gun legislation for years or decades. New Zealand did it in weeks. And this year, it showed the strongest improvement of any top 10 country, climbing 3.1% on the Global Peace Index. Maori cultural values of community, wana, and collective responsibility, Manakatanga, permeate New Zealand's society. Safety here isn't enforced. It's woven into the culture. Number 2. Ireland. For decades, Ireland was synonymous with conflict. The Troubles, a period of sectarian violence in Northern Ireland, saw bombings, assassinations, and thousands of deaths. It was one of the most dangerous places in Western Europe. And then, in 1998, the Good Friday Agreement was signed. It is widely considered one of the greatest peace achievements in modern history. The transformation since then has been extraordinary. In the first half of 2025, just 15 homicides were recorded in the entire country. The burglary rate is 180 per 100,000, 34% below the European average of 277. Ireland's police force, and Garda Síochána, follows a community policing model. Officers are traditionally unarmed, focusing on de-escalation and trust rather than force. Ireland has maintained military neutrality since independence, never joining NATO. It's a country that chose dialogue over weapons, community over control. And today, it stands as the second most peaceful nation on Earth, living proof that even the most violent histories can be rewritten. Number 1. Iceland. For 17 consecutive years, Iceland has held the top position on the Global Peace Index. No other country comes close to this record, and the reasons why read like a list of contradictions. Iceland has no military. None. It is one of the only sovereign nations on Earth with zero armed forces. Its police officers do not carry firearms. The only armed unit in the entire country is called the Viking Squad, and it's rarely deployed. Yet here's the paradox. Gun ownership in Iceland is actually high. Farmers and hunters own firearms across the island. Bird hunting is a popular tradition, but gun violence is virtually non-existent. In all of 2025, Iceland recorded just 6 homicides. 6, in a country of 380,000 people. Iceland's trust in police exceeds 95%. Its officers focus on de-escalation, not force. The welfare system is comprehensive. Universal healthcare, free education, generous social support. Income inequality is among the lowest on Earth, and it's consistently ranked number 1 for gender equality by the World Economic Forum. So what's Iceland's real secret? It's not the absence of weapons. It's the presence of trust. When a society invests in equality, education, and welfare, when citizens trust their institutions and each other, safety isn't something you enforce. It's something that simply exists. Iceland proves that the safest place on Earth isn't the one with the most police. It's the one where you don't need them. From Finland's classrooms to Iceland's unarmed streets, 10 countries that prove safety isn't about surveillance or punishment. It's about trust, education, equality, and bold policy. The data is clear. Now the question is, which country on this list surprised you the most? Let me know in the comments. If you found this eye-opening, hit subscribe and tap that bell so you never miss a ranking. Like this video if any of these countries surprised you, and share it with someone who's thinking about where to travel or where to live next.